Hey guys, Rob here. Today I've got a piece of apple. It is 6 inches around by about 3.5 inches deep. So from a relatively small tree. But what I want to do is I want to turn a very thin walled bowl, and then I want to do some piercing. Now I've been wanting to do this for some time, but I keep putting it off. There's always something else to make, but you know, when you make a bowl and you're happy with it, the last thing you want to do is take a Dremel to it and start making holes in it. But this piece of wood is destined to be pierced. So stick around with me. I'm going to turn the outside, I'm going to put a tenon on here, and then I'm going to put it in the jaws, hollow it out, and get it as thin as I can. I'm aiming for about 3/16 of an inch is what I'm aiming for. So let's get it done. So the first thing I'm going to do is mount this on the truck with my wormwood screw. That's nice and tight. Speed is down slow. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my carbide tip cutters and get this rounded off, and then put a tenon on the end of it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but there's a small crack there and some tear out, and there's a little bit of an inclusion here, a little bit of a bark inclusion I think it is. I'm going to fill all of this with super glue, and then once that's set I'm going to seal it with shellac and do a final coat and a sand, and then get this outside finished. Okay, so I've put CA glue, super glue in the cracks, and now I'm going to put some shellac over the whole thing. Soak it right into that open grain. Okay, that won't take long to dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to come back, and I like using my footprint scraper to finish. I get a very sharp cut on that scraper, so I'll come back and do a final cut with that. It's already starting to dry. Okay, that's most of the tear out gone. Now I'm going to sand it to get the last little bit of tear out gone. Okay, so I've got the bowl sanded down from 1500 Ritz, and I've applied some Danish oil as I was sanding, and you can see a lovely bit of spalting in there. And what I'm going to do now is going to reverse chuck it and follow it out and get it as thin as I dare, so that when I do my my piercing, I don't want the piercing to be difficult. I want the piercing to be relatively simple and relatively thin. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm trying to measure the inside, the thickness of the wall right now. It's close to where I want it. If I can get it down a little bit more, that'd be good. Now the bottom, if I can go down a bit more on the bottom. I've got about a 1/4 inch on the bottom. But it's certainly getting there. It's going to require some sanding. Okay, so this bowl is now complete. I have to turn off the tenon, but I'm finding myself at that moment where, do I pierce it? Do I potentially ruin this bowl by piercing? I've never pierced before, so the answer has to be yes. Do I pierce a shape or random shapes? One area or the entire bowl or a band of the bowl? That's what I have to decide next. When you get to this point, and I'll post a couple of photographs right here of this bowl as it sits right now so you can have a good close look at it. So look at these few photos that I'm posting right now. That's what it looks like right now. There's a couple of wormholes I've filled with CA glue, and they've blended really well. There's nice spalting on the back. I risk ruining the bowl by piercing. So, do I pierce or do I leave it, Dad? What do you say? I think I have to try it. I'm just wondering if I should make 2 lines and pierce between the lines. I have to think about this. I think I have to remove the tenon and then think about how I'm going to go about piercing this bowl. So it's pretty thin. If I get my caliper here. Now it's not so thin you can shine light through it, but you can see it's pretty thin. Even at the base, it's 1/4 of an inch at the most, and less as we go up the side. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the tenon off and come back. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get this sanded down and finished to the rest, and then we'll talk about potentially piercing. Okay, so here is the bowl. The bottom, I have taken the tenon off and finished it. Now, I had this in my cold jaws, and it is so thin that it is cracked. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a very, very small crack there. It is very small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of CA glue in there and kind of try and get it to fix, and then I'm going to do some very fine sanding to try and disguise that fact. So that was unfortunate. I heard it crack at the last minute. So I'm going to work on that and then get back to hopefully doing some piercing. But okay. Okay, so this is the complete apple bowl. It is Pass me tape measure. See tape measure? Right there. Okay, so this is the complete bowl. It's apple wood. It is 5.5 inches around by 3.5 inches, 3 inches tall. So I've repaired the crack that was here with CA glue, super glue, and it blends in quite well because there's a small inclusion there, so you don't really notice it too bad. And it is very thin. In fact, the bowl must have warped slightly because it's a little bit thinner there than it is over there, but that's okay, because this was green wood when I got it. I actually got this down the road at some fella's front yard. He had some apple wood sitting at the road, so I just actually had my son grab a couple of chunks of wood from the road. So that being said, I want to pierce this, but I think I'm going to make another video of piercing because well, it's my first attempt, so I haven't done any yet. So I want to get this complete, get some photos uploaded. You can check them out afterwards, and I'll make a video just doing the piercing. So again, I want to shout out to the UK Wood Turning Symposium, UK Ireland Wood Turning Symposium. Okay, I want to do another quick shout out to the UK IWS, UK Ireland Wood. Can I say it? Ooh. Okay, I want to do another quick shout out to UK IWS. That's Mike Walt, Martin Saban-Smith, and Stephen Twidell from Temple Wood Turnings. They're putting on that Wood Turning Symposium in Coventry of June 18th and 19th, 2016. Don't miss it. Don't miss that. So, that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up and move on to my 2015 Christmas ornament challenge. That's my next project. So, so we'll see you soon. Thanks now.